What if I told you that there are habits you can start right now that will not only raise your vibration, but also bring you into the fifth dimension? Imagine doing practices that are so powerful that they change the way you live your everyday life and let you see and experience a world full of higher vibrational energy. Welcome back to an adventure like no other. Today, we'll be exploring the amazing things that can happen when you raise your consciousness. And I'm here to take you on a journey that will help you grow faster than ever before. When you feel better, not just on the surface, but in a way that connects you deeply with others and with who you really are, it affects everything. It's not enough to just change the way you think. You need to change how you live your life so that it's more loving and united. You might now be wondering what the fifth dimension is all about. What makes it different from the third or fourth dimensions we hear about a lot? You may have these questions going through your mind, making you curious about the nature of reality and how we fit into it. Let's get to the bottom of these dimensions. They're not separate places. They're states of consciousness that we can move through and embody in our daily lives, depending on our vibration and how we relate to the world. We're about to go down a rabbit hole that will lead to new ideas and insights that might make you question what you think you know now. Why are you now on Earth? Take a moment to think about the idea that you might be an eternal spiritual being having a short-term human experience. This idea, which has been taught for thousands of years in many different ways, says that one of the most important things in life is to remember that we are more than our bodies and the ego that wants to be accepted and proven to exist. Imagine that life on Earth were like a game where the goal is to remember who we really are as we come into this world. Because we think it's real, our actions and experiences have more weight and meaning. This makes the game more interesting. But what if we could change how we think about reality by accepting our spiritual nature and the fact that we are made of many dimensions? This introduction opens the door to these deep questions and ideas, and it encourages you to think about how your own spiritual journey could go in any direction. Get ready to learn the fifth dimensional habits that will instantly raise your vibration and change how you see and interact with the world around you. The path we take through life is much more complicated and linked than we think. Because of how weak our memories are, we can't remember all the different experiences that are going on at the same time on different levels of existence. Forgetting things is not a flaw. It's a necessary part of living a full life without overloading our brains. Still, there is a deep truth hidden in all of this complexity. We exist at the same time in many dimensions, both here on Earth and elsewhere, as part of a big shift in consciousness vibrations. Through her 17 books, Dolores has written a lot of material that can help us understand this multidimensional existence. Using the quantum healing hypnosis technique, QHHT, Cannon was able to reach deeper into people's minds and get information from their higher selves about why they were here at this important time. People in these stories always talk about how much they want to be a part of Earth's current change. Its move from a denser, third-dimensional state of being to the more fluid and enlightened fourth and fifth dimensional states of consciousness. But what does it mean to move from one dimension to another? There has been a lot of conflict and duality in the third dimension for hundreds of years. It's a place where opposing forces like good and evil, light and dark, are always tense. This duality is an important part of Earth's learning environment because it teaches us through contrast and polarity. It is, however, a very difficult realm where the illusion of separation can cause trouble and pain. In the fourth dimension, on the other hand, time is shown as a more fluid concept, similar to a dream state, where the order of events stops being linear. This is where we begin to see life as a collection of moments that are all connected to each other. This understanding brings us closer to the fifth dimension, a state of being based on love, unity, and the knowledge that everything around us shows what's going on inside us. Are you ready to think that the reality you're experiencing might actually be a tapestry that you made up, reflecting back to you the core of your beliefs, thoughts, and feelings? Fifth dimensional consciousness is about seeing past the good and bad sides of things and realizing that our true selves are not limited by these two sides. Being honest and open is more common than lying and manipulating others in this realm. We know that everyone and everything is a reflection of our own inner world. In this state, we are told to live from the heart and make things not from a mind that divides, but from a heart that brings people together and loves them. Seeing and letting go of the ties to third-dimensional duality are the keys to getting to this higher dimensional world. When we understand that we are not our thoughts, feelings, or the roles we play, we can see the false idea of separation for what it is. This realization gives us a new way to live, in which every action is an act of love, and every interaction is a chance to show that everything is connected. Taking on fifth-dimensional habits means realizing that we are spiritual beings with infinite potential who are living a temporary human experience for the purpose of learning and remembering. It's about seeing life as a dream that we are meant to wake up from and realize who we really are and how much potential we have. This change in consciousness isn't just a possibility. It's happening right now, and it's inviting us all to help make the earth a better place based on love, unity, and connection. As we move from three-dimensional to fifth-dimensional consciousness, our perceptions and interactions with the world around us change in small but important ways. It starts with just observing, without attaching any meaning or preconception. We don't have to fight or get angry when we see how complicated government and society are. Instead, we can choose to see these parts of our lives as they really are. By taking a non-reactive stance, we can lower the vibrational charge that holds us to a denser reality. This makes the transition to higher states of consciousness easier. The third, fourth, and fifth dimensions of consciousness exist at the same time in our current reality. We can access them through our focus and perception. When we interact with mainstream media or social conversations, we often enter a third-dimensional state full of energies that divide us. We still have the choice, though, whether to stay caught up in these energies or shift our attention to the heart-centered consciousness of the fifth dimension. This higher state goes beyond the duality of good and bad and welcomes us into a place of kindness, understanding, and acceptance, no matter what. Being, rather than doing or having, is at the heart of fifth-dimensional living. It stresses the importance of being present, letting go of the past, and recognizing that what we experience in the present is a reflection of how we feel inside. By accepting neutrality, we set ourselves up to rise above lower vibrational states. We can move from states of willingness and reasoning to the state of love, which is fifth-dimensional consciousness. In this case, love isn't just an emotion. It's also an understanding of how we're all connected and the drive to follow our passion. Passion is like a lighthouse. It points us toward things that are deeply connected to who we are. It means that we are in line with our higher purpose, which leads to a state of being where happiness, fulfillment, and unity rule. Through this journey of being, we connect with the fifth dimension, where the pursuit of external accomplishments gives way to a profound connection with the journey of life, which is characterized by acceptance, joy, and a deep sense of peace. To make this change, you have to accept the duality that is part of the third dimension and name it without resistance. My own spiritual awakening shed light on the ways that society controls people, which made me angry and skeptical at first. But I realized that resistance only keeps the structures we want to change in place. To reach a higher level of consciousness, we need to be aware of these systems, know how they affect our lives as a whole, and choose to rise above them through love and acceptance. The fifth dimensional principles of unity, compassion, and unconditional love will guide us on this journey, which is not about escaping reality, but about changing it from the inside out. You don't have to make big changes to change how you see and interact with the world. You just need to make small, conscious changes to how you interact with your surroundings. You can let experiences happen without adding the weight of judgment or resistance when you just observe without labeling. This way of thinking is very important, especially when society or the government does things that seem annoying or out of our control. When we recognize these parts of reality without giving them our energy, they have less of an effect on our vibrational state. This makes the transition to higher levels of consciousness easier. We are at a unique point in time where the third, fourth, and fifth dimensions all overlap in our reality. We can see this by focusing and imagining it. Getting involved with some stories could keep us in a third-dimensional state that is full of energies that divide us. We can, however, shift our attention to a heart-centered fifth-dimensional state of consciousness. This higher state goes beyond the duality of good and bad and welcomes us into a place of kindness, understanding, and acceptance, no matter what. Being, not doing or having, is what makes the fifth dimension magical. It stresses the importance of being present, letting go of the past, and recognizing that what we experience in the present is a reflection of how we feel inside. We let go of labels and rigid structures when we embrace this heart-based consciousness. This puts us in a state of being where life is an expression of love and unity. Focusing on living from the heart is a practical way to embrace this fifth-dimensional consciousness. Putting your hands on your heart and feeling its energy raises the electromagnetic energy around your body. This makes the loving energy inside and around you stronger. This simple technique can help you shift your focus from the mind's dualities to the heart's unity if you do it regularly. Also, doing what you love is a powerful habit that raises your vibration on its own. When you do things that make you feel passionate, you enter a flow state that connects you with the essence of the fifth dimension. This alignment not only makes you happy and fulfilled, but it also changes how you interact with the world, taking you from the limits of being separate to the limitless possibilities of being connected. Knowing how the different levels of consciousness and the vibrational states that go with them affect each other over time helps us understand our journey through life better. Being aware of when we're in the third or fourth dimension lets us choose to connect with the higher frequencies of the fifth dimension, which is where love, unity, and being are most important. To make this shift even easier, it's important to let go of attachments to lower vibrational states and finish what you started in the past. Doing things that help you let go of past hurts and accept that you are loved and worthy no matter what can completely change your vibrational state. You can fully experience the higher dimensions of consciousness thanks to this completion process, which releases you from restrictions imposed by previous cycles. People who want to learn more and improve their skills can get more support and ideas by reading daily content and participating in community discussions on sites like Instagram. You can make your journey to accepting the fifth dimension more enjoyable by reading content that is meant to raise your consciousness. As we move through this time of change, understanding and applying the principles of higher dimensional living can lead to a life with deeper connections, unconditional love, and a deep alignment with who we really are. If you're still with me, I extend my gratitude for your presence, and if you wish, consider subscribing to our channel. And remember, I have a profound love for you and hope that your life is filled with prosperity and happiness to the fullest extent possible. Thank you.